And seated in Virasana, if I ask you to turn your head to the right, go ahead and turn your head to the right without your shoulders moving at all. And recognize in your mind how much freedom you have to do this. Where is the restriction? As you continue to breathe in, out easily, naturally, release the brain in on inhalation, out on exhalation. So while you're doing a relatively gross action, the subtlety of the breath is still introduced from the very beginning. And come look forward. Keep the chest lifted. And turn the head to the second side, left side. And in your mind, compare your stiffness between the two sides or your freedom to move between the two sides. Breathing in, on inhalation, seeing that the brain releases in. On exhalation, see that the brain has a sense of releasing outward. Fully knowing that the brain doesn't move, but there is a sensation as though the brain moves. And come look forward. So that's a very early stage of watching, something that might be rather obvious to everybody, even to a beginning student. But now I go a step deeper and say, I want you to feel that the freedom for the head to move really comes from the neck. When without any training, most people turn the head, they turn it from the base of the skull, from the occipital area, if you will. When the neck kind of willy-nilly cooperates, I want you to change that. Consider that movement as though coming from your 7th cervical vertebra. So really, the neck begins the movement. The head, in a sense, receives it. After the head received it as completely as possible, it may try to go a little further, but begin the action of turning from the neck without the shoulders moving at all. Turn to the right. Make sure the shoulder girdle doesn't turn at this stage. Turning to the right. As you turn the head to the right like that, having first completely turned the neck as much as you can, then turn the head a little more if you can, and then see if you can lift the left ear a little farther away from the floor, right ear a little closer to the floor, so you're tilting the head back behind you. And in your mind, create a connection from the inner left ear to the mid-thoracic vertebra. Your sense of lift of the chest has to continue from the mid-thoracic to the inner ear. The greater you are able to tilt the head back, the more there is a sense of lifting the chest from the mid-thoracic. And turn the head forward. Now, if you will, that is still a subtle level. But as you practice it, you pay attention to that. There's a very definite pranic connection from the inner ear to the chest. Lifting the trunk. Inhale, on exhalation, turn the head to the left, but turn it from the base of the neck. Then let the head receive that. And after the head has received that movement from the neck, let it turn a little more if it can, lifting the right ear. And if you observe the two sides, the connection of right ear to the mid-thoracic area is little different than to the left side when you lifted the left ear more. And this discovery is endless. And turn the head forward. As I begin to turn the trunk more and more, not just from the mid-thoracic area, but from much lower down in my vertebral column. As I approach the lower body, I find that if I turn my trunk, my body to the right, unless I'm watching very carefully, unknowingly, the left half of the hip tries to untuck. Most people do that in the beginning. They untuck the left half of the hip, turn to the right, and make the left rib cage move towards the right. That is a lateral movement. It's not an axial twist. So don't do that. Keep correcting that. Turn your trunk to the right from as far down in the pelvic floor as you can. But in the process, don't untuck the left half of the pelvis. And do not push the left rib cage towards the right. And in that movement, which is a little deeper movement than what you began with, watch the movement of the breath. Is there any congestion that you can readily sense between the left and the right side comparison? And untwist, look forward again. Now this is a little farther than what we went yesterday. Because it's like eating a mango. You never eat the same mango twice. I hope you don't. You can't. It's a mango. It's always a mango. But it's different. Same way, I'm doing the twist like we did somewhat yesterday. But it's different. Lifting the trunk from the base of the spine without untucking your pelvis on the right side. Carefully twist to the left so that on the left side, behind you, the mind is as though anchoring the left sit bone down. From that anchoring, the whole body lifts and twists towards the left. Now this time you can turn the shoulders also. But the beginning of the movement is in the lowest part of the body. Anchor the right half of the pelvis down from the back of the body. From there, begin the lift of the trunk and twist to the left, making sure that the right floating rib is not moving towards the left floating rib. And again, after turning the head, tilt the head back from the inner ear cecal line to the mid-thoracic area. There is no physical connection directly between the inner ear and the mid-thoracic area. But there is an energetic connection. You want to sense that. And again, from one student to the other, the ability to sense this will vary. Even for the same person, it will vary between one day and second day. Left hand behind you, right hand forward, lift the trunk. Now, Ramanand is telling you all these things. Don't for a moment that Ramanand is doing all this perfectly. That would be a mistake. You are God-given victims to me. So I learned by repeating this again and again and again. I like listening to myself. Lift the trunk from the base of the spine, turn to the left, incrementally twisting more and more, breathing freely, turning the head last. Seek that line from the right ear to the sternum, to the mid-thoracic area. Find how much sense of continuity of awareness you have there as you breathe. And release. Lie down. Just watch this. Take a support on your head. You can keep your knees bent or straighten your legs. Either way is fine. Not too much support for it. Maybe double the blanket. to ask you to lift. I just want to turn the head to the side. She must be feeling bad because she's using more support than I usually see her do. But that's okay. Now, Andrea, turn your head to the right. No, don't, just turn. No, don't tilt at all. Just turn. See, if without any attention she turns the head to the right, the neck is no longer in the line of the rest of the vertebral column. Okay? So, come back to the center again. In order to turn the head to the right, tilt it to the left first. And tilt means the eyes remain equally away from the floor. Tilt more if you can. Now turn the head so that the neck, after you turn the head, the neck is more in line of the spine. Okay? You will try this on each side. Whichever side you find more difficult, on that side, I will recommend, if it is substantially different, on the difficult side, put a 5-pound sandbag on your face. Don't use more than 5 pounds. Okay. Go ahead and lie down, everybody. Take a support for your head. In this position, to take the turning, twisting of the head from the base of the spine is not necessary, not desirable. But turn the neck before you turn the head. If you only turn the head, the neck will go out of line of the rest of the spine. To keep that line, depending on the shape of your head, you want to tilt the head to the left, then turn to the right. And twists are interesting in that if you do it for any length of period, there comes a point where instead of trying to put more muscular effort in your twist, you want to twist further by letting go. Something is binding, learn to let go of that binding. By your mind and your breath, you can do that. If there is any congestion that you feel, obviously, in that twist, take the mind there. Breathe into the congested area, as though you are sending the energy of prana there. And come back to the center. Readjust the head as necessary. Okay, go to the second side, same way. To turn the head to the left, tilt it to the right first, then turn. Seeking the movement of turning from the neck rather than directly from the head. To breathe freely. And as I said, you compare the two sides. By doing it a few times, you compare the two sides. And then at home, when you practice, do what I just suggested, which is on the side on which the head doesn't readily turn, put about 5-pound sandbag. If that is also heavy, you can just use your hand. But turn further, not by a chiropractic kind of adjustment. Turn the head more by letting go, letting go, letting go again. This is the part where we involve sense organs. So that in order to turn the head to the right, which we will do again, you, with your eyes, keep looking at the left. With your eyes, both eyes, keep looking at the left. Every so often the eye will try to take over, don't let it do that. Looking at the left with your eyes, tilt the head to the right. Keep looking at the left, turn the head to the right. Tilt to the left and turn to the right, but keep looking with your eyes to the left. Go as far as you can with the eyes still looking towards the left. And when you feel that that is your physical limit, turn the eyes to the right. And generally you will find the head turns a little more to the right.